Alright guys, there's a massive patch to preview March 2022, and this is a public update preview. So essentially what this is, it's a new way of doing things for Age of Empires 4, where the test is playable in the beta, the patch is playable in the beta before it goes live. There's a lot of big changes coming to Age of Empires 4, and we've been talking about a lot of good changes behind the scenes. Today, on the March of 10th, is the unveiling of the notes for the public, and soon you can play it as well, later today. And you'll be able to play it for about a little longer than a week. Right now it's 8 p.m. in Germany, where I am live in Berlin to attend the first Age of Empires 4 LAN tournament. Maybe you've heard a little bit about it. It's N4C. You should definitely tune in from Friday to Sunday. It also means I'm not on my home setup right now, so microphone, webcam, everything sounds and looks a little bit different, but it's still same old me. And I was excited to jump onto a stream from here on a different setup in order to preview the patch that's going to be coming up. Now, I'm going to warn you in advance, it's a huge patch. You can probably see by the length of the video here on YouTube, and we'll try to chapterize some of that stuff for you so you can jump to the parts that interest you most. But without further ado, let's jump into it from the start and take a look at everything that's going to be changing coming up. Alright, first of all, super exciting, we're going to have a list of in-house mods and templates that you can unleash upon custom games, which is going to be sick. There's also going to be mod tools coming out soon. Eventually you will have full customization about being able to handcraft maps, as is known in older Age of Empires games as well. And this is just a sampling of it for now. And I've heard a lot of exciting things from different people here at the event who have already taken a look at the notes. I haven't yet. Let's jump into it. I'm excited to see what's going on. This link is also in the Twitch chat that I have, !PUP. Takes you to the Reddit post, and then you can go here and you can log in on Steam to view it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can click on the link in the description as well. So let's jump to the first actual new features. So in-house mods. The team has created several interesting in-house mods to showcase various capabilities of the editor, and you can find a list below. Will map editor be here as well? I don't know, Yuzariel. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. So there's going to be a Royal Rumble. It's a new game mode. Be the last king standing. Achieve victory by eliminating all enemy kings while defending your own. It's based on the classic Age of Empires 2 game mode Regicide. Have any of you ever played this? I saw some people pretty excited about this possibility. So it's like a different win condition, right? Your king is a unit, okay, is he like strong? Can he attack back? Regicide is awesome! If it dies you lose, yes it's popular. Regicide is fun, keep the Khan alive. Well, Lenok would be really good at that. The king is a non-attacking unit.
Love ya, Grubby.
Yo, thanks! Thank you, thank you. I only have one monitor, so I need to tap to see who said that. Harlal, thank you Harlal. You hide him in a castle or something. Cool. Alright, alright. He runs fast, but he does nothing. A fat king, basically, but fast, 1-1. Okay. Cool. Okay, next. Tombolos. Crafted map. I think that means that there's no random generation in it. Yo, thank you so much, Funboy. Welcome to Paradise. This map features multiple tranquil islands connected by narrow sand... Tombolos? Tombolos? Supports up to 2 players. What are tombolos? Are they like beach/water crossings, both land and water? What's a tombolo? I mean, if you told me it was one of those instruments you would play on, I would believe it. A bar of sand or a shingle joining an island to the mainland. Yo, we got a fisherman here. A sandy isthmus. Yeah, that helps a lot. It's a sandy isthmus.
The best AoE streamer and best commentator, greets from Germany.
Yo, thanks Lukiwara. A tambolo is a sandy isthmus. From the Italian tombolo, meaning pillow or cushion, and sometimes translated as Irie. It just keeps becoming different words that also don't exist, at least in my consciousness. Is a deposition landform by which an island becomes attached to the mainland by a narrow piece of land, such as a spit or a bar. What the? By the way, coup de grace means grease strike. You meant coup de grace during the tournament. Okay. I just know that French leaves out a lot of letters. I left out too many, and it made my fatal blow turn into a strike of grease. Nice. Nice. Well, that teaches me to speak French during English broadcasts. By the way, tertiary is a word. Yeah, I knew it, but you know, he's Canadian native speaker. Britain and Ireland. Generated map fight for regency over the British Isles. This map features a landmass that resembles Britain, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. Ireland! Indian subcontinent. Generated map. Battle over South Asia. This map features a landmass that resembles the Indian subcontinent. The Gulch. You ever wonder why we are here? This map features a box canyon surrounded by walls on all sides. Supports up to 4 players. Thick wood. Tuning pack. That's a lot of wood. Doubles the amount of wood available in trees. Double villagers. Tuning pack. The peasants are multiplying. Train 2 villagers at the time for the cast of 1. This will lead to so many fun challenges, man. Dire wolves. The wolves are hungry and out for blood. All wolves have increased damage, hit points, and size. No! Oh no. Nice, the wolves would love that. Would you though? Doesn't everyone hate wolves? The bitey infantry. The bitey 2-headed ogres. Rus and Shambles. Did they say they're faster? They're not faster though. Imagine if you lure like 4 wolves back to your town center and they actually kill your town center. Landmark victory. Don't be wolfist. Alright. And then balance changes, guys. Update goals. Tighten win rates in preparation of our first ranked season. Encourage earlier conflict on the map with deer patches. Improve the feel of moving naval units and increase strategic options through more effective retreats. AoE4 getting custom before Reforged Omega lol. Yeah, there's always something. There's always something that reminds us of that, doesn't it? Increase risk and counterplay when constructing buildings near the enemy forces. Good. I've been campaigning for this a little bit. The second one as well, by the way. The third point. The naval units and the counterplay with offensive structures like tower rushes. Ensure civilization unique units stand out instead of just being niche counters. So Chuganu, Fire Lancer, Grenadier, Landsknecht. Make dynasty bonuses more useful for the periods of the game in which they are unlocked. Create more compelling decision making around landmark picks. Sounds very good so far. So let's begin. All civilizations. Field construction build time of the Springald increased from 30 to 80 seconds. Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm here for the Grubby merch announcement. XD.
It's gonna come sometime in the next 5 years. Like at this point, you're interested. I think there was one other guy. So you're saying there's a chance. This is really good. Springalds and Mangonels. Oh look, they all get the same treatment. Traction, Trebuchet. All of these, they were built so fast. Wait, what about... Can Abbasid not build Trebuchets? No, they can't. They do Rams, Siege Towers, Mangonel, Springald. Okay, so it's just the Mongol Trebuchet. Everything that can be built on the field is now slower. 2.5 times slower almost. I think that's a great change. That's really good. There's been a lot of feedback among the top 8 players here at N4C that building siege in the field, essentially since it bypasses the construction time of construction buildings, there's a kind of cheating of being able to convert too many resources into a unique unit as you reach the prerequisite of being able to make that unit. So the moment you reach Castle Age, if you have the money, you can make 5 mangonels instantly, or 2 mangonels and 2 springles. And normally you would still need to make a workshop, cost you half a minute, then train the unit, 40 seconds, then move it across the map. So we're talking about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, depending on the map size, of time skip for a single unit. And you can make multiple, so you're actually saving like 4 to 5 units. It's like StarCraft 2 Protoss Warp Tech. And Protoss is also cheesy and hard to balance in StarCraft. This kind of production
read new
skip...
puppy review? Less than 3.
What? What was that? Puppy review? PUP. Oh, yeah. That is a problem. That is a problem, skipping this kind of production time. So this is a good change. It's still good, but now it's easier to like attack someone that is building it. Scout hunt. Oh, this is a great change. Yep, it took quite a while to kill deer and wolves and sheep and stuff in the field. It got a bit boring because it felt so slow. Initially, we could do it even faster than 1 second because of animation cancel, but then it kind of felt overdone in how slow it was to use your bow, and it was tedious and actually a little bit of a nerf to Rus in general as well. So I think that's a nice change. I don't know if it applies to the Khan. I don't think it does. This is a Rus buff. We can now clear wolves without spending like 30 seconds. Or like 10 stutter steps over like a minute. You don't necessarily only have to bring them under the town center anymore. So this patch is going to go into a beta phase tonight and probably land somewhere. It could be this month or next, but I think it's going to be soon, but we don't really know exactly when. Does torching buildings count as melee weapons? No, I don't think it does. Or maybe it does, actually. Well, it is neutral essentially, Helsing, for Rus, since the enemy can do the same, but Rus has more scouts, so they essentially get their bonus unlocked quicker. So it is a buff for them. They're going to have anywhere from 2 to 5 scouts generally in the early game, and other civs have anywhere from 1 to 2 scouts. So Rus is more likely to be able to benefit from it. It does allow non-Rus to deny deer more easily as well, but again, they've got fewer scouts, and they also have to scout and search for sheep. They do lose damage, yeah, but it will be more micro heavy. Like, I see nothing bad from this in general. 4 damage, 2 damage. I'm not sure actually what this is about, and they don't have an explanation about it. This would double their siege damage if their torch damage remains the same. Alright,
Been enjoying the tourney. Cheers, M8.
Yo, cheers, Nosy Bob, thanks. I'm glad. Yeah, you might need 3 shots for a deer now, because deer have like, what, 5 health? Torches are on a separate attack cooldown. Okay. So it makes no difference then. They have 6 health? So you need 3 shots per deer. Huh, that's gonna change deer contests quite a bit. They wanted to say more conflict. Now 1 scout can mess with a 2 scout dude a bit. You don't melee deer. Oh yeah, that's true. So... Wait a minute. Scouts deal 4 damage plus 10 against enemy scouts. So if their baseline drops to 2, then scouts kill scouts a lot faster. Their damage goes from 14 every 4 seconds to 12 every 2 seconds. So for 4 seconds they'll have 24 instead of 14, which is an increase of 71%. They have a baseline bonus damage against scouts. Scouts may kill each other 71% faster than before. Quick maths, didn't use calculator or anything. Oh yeah, and it will make them weaker against armored units as well. They're gonna, like, let's say an archer that has 1 melee armor will now only take 1 damage instead of 3. And you have less burst damage, right? I think this is a good change. They become less of a battle unit. Village hunted meat carry capacity increased from 10 to 25, so it looks like they've baseline added survival techniques. Hunted meat carry capacity bonus has been removed because it's embedded. Survival techniques hunted meat harvest rate increased from 10 to 15%. So the upgrade is focusing on the 15% part. Remember, this costs 150. It's not cheap, but it's not super expensive. And the research time dropped to 45 seconds, or 15 for Chinese, with supervision. How will this affect deer? You can always do 25 without the upgrade. If you get the upgrade, you get a 15% bonus for deer and boar, which are extremely limited on the map. I guess it makes boar really worth it. Basically, even if you thought of this as being part of survival, the net effect is you get it quicker, you get more. And like, it's a pure buff, even though there's less advantage attached to survival techniques. It's a pure buff for everybody to go for the Gaia. It is a buff to pro scouts as well, I suppose, but also to just local farming around the deer and the boar. I feel like boar are way too niche in this game. People should go for them more often. You think they're being underused, Don Hardy? Nobody goes for the boar generally. Oh, supervise is back to 150. Oh, I guess we'll get there soon enough. Underused. Interesting. Yeah, I think I only saw Viper, I think. Only Viper was going for the boar. The 2k food while your opponent is farm transitioning can be so good. Yeah, I suppose a boar is 2k food. And it's been a while since I went for boar. I think I ignored boar in the last 300 games I played as well. A sheep is 150, so a boar is essentially worth 13 sheep, which is more than half of what's on the map. Actually not bad. Improve the responsiveness of small and medium ships. Arrow ships can no longer fire while moving. Good. That is good. That was so dumb. It made micro so pepiga. Extended lines research time has been reduced. Good, nobody was getting this. Drift nets research time also reduced. Galley population now only 3. Junk population now only 2. Big buff to Chinese water, guys. Buff to English and Holy Roman water. Galleass population reduced from 6 to 5. And note that they didn't change Baochuan food or Hulk. So kind of some of the less popular ships got buffed. Attack ship ranged armor reduced by 1. Except for the French Hulk, because it already only had 2, right? So all arrow ships will be better because all ranged armor is being reduced by 1. Buglass Springald, oh, this is such a good change. Do you know why? Docks have 50 armor, so do outposts. So while French Hulks could pierce for 50 damage, and some Hulks have 120 damage, so they pierce for 70, Buglass were piercing for 0 damage. Essentially they get the 1 minimum, 50 damage into 50 armor, so Bugla could not kill Docks. They did have the bonus arrows, so they get 1 damage with a multiplier, so like 3 or 5 or whatever, but it was nothing. So this is really good. Bugla attack speed reduced. Okay, so they reduced this to compensate. Yeah, that's good. Bugla is gonna get a lot better. They're also gonna pierce more past the ship that has like what, 6 armor, 8 armor, right? Not by that much, but it's good. Warship formation spacing reduced from 4.5 to 3 tiles. So they can be closer together, which is essentially a buff to demo ships and to your micro ability to traverse certain areas quickly, I suppose. Aren't attack speed and springlet attack speed separated? I don't think so. This is their left and their right side. So for a Hulk, for instance, French Hulk has an attack speed of 4, which means you want to spin it once every 2 seconds, Shinube, so that you can shoot left, shoot right. And this one needed a very fast spin of 1.62 seconds, and now it needs a spin of only 1.88 seconds. Yeah. Bouchuan weapon range reduced by 1. That's good. This one is the king of the seas. It also means, by the way, that already it's true, by the way, but even more so now, Bouchuan is gonna be even less effective into ground siege, like Springled, Skullverins, Bombards, Mangonels. Land siege, already quite strong into water. Before, you could park a Bouchuan on Confluence or Mongolian Heights and it would like destroy everything. Now Bombards win pretty hard. Or Springleds. Naval Navigator no longer gives +1 weapon range, but it does give increased sight range improvement. Instead of just 1, it's 4. Ah! So Bouchuan used to have 2 more range. It loses 1 here and it loses 1 here. I think that's good. That sight range 1 really meant nothing, but now with the 4 tiles, you're going to be able to spot demo ships, except of course when they're in one of those lily swamps. Interesting. Updated the selection area for all fishing deposits to match the visual. This also resolves issues where deep fish became harder to select as the resource was depleted. Good. When is the patch coming? Well, it should be playable on the beta tonight, and we don't know when it's live yet. Lily swamps? Yeah, you know, like the hidden areas, the bushes on the water. They look like, I mean, what do you call those green leaves that are on water that frogs sit on in cartoons? Are those lilies? Fog banks. Yeah, let's call them fog banks. Kelp forest. I mean, whatever, right? It's not a swamp, obviously. You don't have a swamp in the middle of the ocean, but let's say lily pad vision blockers. Galley, Dow, and Junk help text updated to specifically indicate the benefit from range damage blacksmith technology. Good, because it was like saying benefits in general from blacksmith. Now it's only attack. Core buildings and upgrades. Buildings under construction receive 50% more damage. That's a great change. Actually reminds me, I mean, I recommended this change a while ago as well, and they like the idea because outposts are very effective at being built under enemy defenses. Because they've got the full 50 armor and 0 damage increase, no damage amplification on building buildings, so you can do like brazen tower rushes under enemy defenses, be they infantry, be they villagers with torches or towers. So if an archer does 1 damage, it still does 1.5, which is still 1. So archers don't do more, right? But torch damage is going to be amplified. So for villagers, spears, cavalry, it's going to be easier to burn down an outpost before it comes up. I think that's a great change. And it also means you can bum rush an enemy keep that's being force built in your base, which I always found a bit weird, how someone could like force build a keep with 20 villagers, you try to kill the vills, you try to attack the keep, but like there's almost no way to stop it. No, there's no fractional damage. 1.5 is 1. It's not like 2 attacks of 1.5 deal 3 damage. Minimum damage is 1. And archers deal 1 damage. Stonewall tower build time increased from 60 to 90. Okay, that's a good change. These are really powerful in cheeses and in defense, to be honest. They're actually banned at the LAN tournament that I'm casting at right now, in general, in all ages. And it's been really fun to see more action, more micro, more raids. Stonewalls at this tournament are banned from feudal. You can only make them from castle, and a lot of players aren't using them by that time anymore because they're already embroiled in fights. Relic is probably looking at this and thinking if that's a good change in general. I don't see them making any changes yet to the stone walls in feudal, but this change by itself is gonna help quite a bit. Then you've got the keep build time increase from 120 to 140. I think that's fair, keeps her really strong. Boiling oil cost increase from 250 100 to 500 200. Wow. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, boiling oil right now is very strong. It is a no-brainer to get, and it is not expensive. For how much it does in blocking infantry from really attacking and how hard it is to heal units in this game in general, I think that's fair. It is a very high value upgrade, and it immediately affects all Stonewall towers and keeps all over the map. So, I think that's fine. It's a global emplacement, yeah. Boiling oil research time also increased. Again, I completely agree with this. I didn't recommend this change in the private feedback council. I didn't think about it, but just seeing it, I love it. Greased axles, movement speed bonus reduced from 20 to 15%. Fair, good. Don't make siege too fast. It's been good seeing siege get run down by cavalry in the tournament. Geometry resource cost reduced from 300 wood, 700 gold to 100 wood. What? Wow, you can make it in the siege workshop. It's so much cheaper. And the research time dropped from 90 to 45 seconds. And it's available in castle. Was that Marine Lord? Cool. So trebuchets get 30% bonus damage from 150 to 180. Or 150 to... Nice, Pega. 150 to 190? Wait, what? From 150 to 195. There we go. And then the bonus damage plus 300. Oh yeah, it doesn't actually say it's available in Castle Age, even though Siege Workshop is. You may still need to wait to Imperial, guys. But anyway, this upgrade kind of sucks because it doesn't buff the trebuchet damage versus buildings. It's only the baseline. So while it's going to do a little bit more on enemy springolds and cavalry, and you can use them to fight over stone walls and whatnot, it's only like a 10% damage increase on enemy buildings, which is what trebuchets mostly do. For rams, though, I think this is really big for rams. Rams don't have bonus damage to buildings, because buildings is one of two things they can attack. They have boats they can attack and buildings. So 30% damage bonus on rams is actually really, really effective. Grubby, I really liked your interview with Lucifron. Will there be more of these? I'm also scheduled to have an interview with BSTQT. I'm glad you liked it, Fark here. Thank you. This is nice. Geometry research time half. Siege works moved from Siege Workshop to University, which is the ranged armor, right? And the health. Removed completely from the Chinese astronomical clock tower. Okay, so they need to get a. They need to get it at the university. Siege works resource cost increased from 150 350 to 300. Wow. Okay, that's good. Mongol improved version cost increased from 500 to 1,000 stone. I don't even know what that does. Does anyone know what improved siege works does? 1k stone, hello? Siege works, as far as I know, is bonus health on siege, like 100, and taking their ranged armor from like 8 to 15 or something. More speed on... No, speed on siege is greased axles. This is the health upgrade, right? But does it also give bonus range? When researched in the influence zone of an OVU, it can be improved for 200 stone to siege engines whose hit points are plus 30% and ranged armor plus 4. Oh, okay. You're the best interviewer and best commentator at N4C. Like to watch old games with your commentary. I love it. Yo, thanks, Raul. Appreciate it. Normally it's 10% HP, 1 armor. No, the Mongol one gives that much extra, right? So the baseline is like 20% HP, 3 armor. Yeah, got it. So it's 20% 3 armor. The Mongol get 30% 4 armor. Yep. And the Siegeworks research time increased from 60 to 90. Tithe Barns now correctly provides the 30 stone per minute instead of 15. Okay, let's jump into civilization specific, starting with Abbasid Dynasty, but first, some water. Be right back. Okay, let's move on. Abbasid Dynasty. Whoa! When all gamers were still battling and commentators were busy talking about their personal lives and even the goodest dog was occupied, Grubby ate about 50% of the food that was provided for the land crew. No, that's not true. That is not true. Are you casting tomorrow? Yeah, I think so. Hey, Ben. It's a wild Muslim, guys. Voldemort, catch him fast. Alright, let's check this out. I see, Cinnabon. Camo Archer move speed. Increased from 6.5 to 6.75, okay. Bonus damage versus spears reduced from a triple multiple to a double. Camo Archer level 2, damage increased baseline from 10 to 12. Wow! Holy crap! They're gonna be so much better against men-at-arms and horsemen. 12 to 14 on H3. Imperial 14 to 15. Camel Rider H3 damaged increased from 9. I mean 9 was pathetic. 9 was pathetic. To 14. Worse against Spearman? Yeah, that's okay. There were 3-shotting Spearmen, right? They were doing 10 times 3, right, is 30. So they were doing 90 damage and Spearman had like 80 or 90 health. So they were 3-shotting them. Now they're going to do 24 instead. So they're going to need, what, 4 shots? Either 4 or 5 shots. Did you know the Germans in the jailhouse today? Red Panda, yes, but not everybody. I'll have a chance to meet them later maybe, if they're still here tomorrow. Camel Rider goes from 9 to 14 damage. So he's going to be a little bit more respectable into men-at-arms. And then their cavalry damage is reduced from 18 to 14. Okay, so they're doing +1 damage to cavalry. Right? And +5 to everything else. That's a big nice buff. The time of the horseman is over. The time of the camel has come. Abbasid Dynasty is already really solid, I think. And these are going to be big changes so far, big buffs. I saw Grubby passing by me in a supermarket once and later realized the fish from my cart was gone. Now I know what really happened. It started as a real story, ended a little bit unrealistic, mate, but thanks for the fish. Camel Rider, Imperial damage from 10 to 16. Camel Rider, bonus damage versus cavalry reduced from 20 to 16. Camel Barding now only affects Camel Riders, no longer affects the Camel Archer. This is the bonus damage, isn't it? At least they removed that. Camel Barding moved from the blacksmith to the stables. Bonus damage versus cavalry. -4 plus. Okay, so they do +2 damage in Imperial to other things. Camel Barding cost reduced from university cost to castle cost. Research time reduced from 90 to 45. Wow, they're gonna be a lot more flexible. Yeah, there's a link, !PUP. Also check out my Abbasid build order, guys. !Abbasid. Economy wing changes. Agriculture costs reduced from 200 wood, 500 gold, to 75 wood, 200 gold. Oh, this is the farming upgrade. That's a big buff. Agriculture research time reduced from 90 to 45. So everything is researching faster. This has been moved from blacksmith to stables. A lot of things are better now. Trade wing changes. Grand Bazaar moved from Imperial to Feudal. Wait, Grand Bazaar is bonus gold drop-offs from traders, yeah? Grand Bazaar is a unique technology available to the Abbasid dynasty in Age of Empires 4 that can be researched at the House of Wisdom. After researching, traders will also return a secondary resource equal to 25% of the base gold amount. Wow! And it's gonna be so cheap! Grand Bazaar research time reduced from 90 to 60. Spice Roads is now from feudal into imperial. Hit me, Pisces Knight. Spice Roads is a unique technology available to Abbasid in Age of Empires 4 that causes traders to return with 30% more gold. That's a good swap. I like it. I do think fresh food stuff needs a nerf. So far, what's missing, yeah? Fresh foodstuffs drops villager food cost from 50 to 25. I believe it should be from 50 to 35. Because killing villagers against multi-TC Abbasid is not good enough. Because it's so cheap for them to remake. That's what I'm missing a little bit there so far. And I'm missing feudal walls. Feudal stone walls being moved up to castle. It still takes time, I know. Like Swabia, I heard Swabia is getting nerfed. And I think fresh food stuff should be as well. Bootcamp requirement reduced from Imperial to Feudal. Cost dropped from 1000 to 175. Dude, what the heck? That's insane. What? How can you take an upgrade that was extremely powerful in Imperial and drop it to Feudal and take the cost from 1000 to 175? Less than 20% of the cost. 50% less duration, comes 10-15 minutes earlier, and has the same strength. They already said they were going to do it in dev streams. Well, I may say I'm going to jump from a bridge, but I'm not going to do it. It was just a bold claim, Pisces Knight. The age of man is over. But you don't want military wing in feudal. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do want military wing in feudal, actually. Camel Rider shields research time dropped. Camel support requirement increased from feudal to imperial. Armor 2. Ah. That's very strong. I feel like this patch is a little bit based, at least for now, is based on what we felt to be true a month ago or 1.5 months ago before some of the siege nerfs came in. And it's not really needed anymore. Abbasid is the most picked civ almost in this tournament and has a 50% win rate. So I don't think they need all of these buffs, or if they are going to buff camels and trade wing and military wing, then they should be nerfing economy wing and other things. Now they did nerf siege engineering, of course, which should be remembered. It's a big part of their play, but it feels like this was planned months ago. Camel support cost increased from 50, 125 to 300 and 700. Look, I think bootcamp coming forward maybe is fine, but maybe it should not cost 175. And maybe it should come to castle, not to feudal. That's crazy. But yeah, they want every feudal wing to feel good. I understand that. If that's what they want, I'm willing to see them try it out and to give feedback in regards to it. But the numbers seem off right now. That's all. So, Faith can no longer be used to convert naval units. Oh yeah! Yeah, I did this. Recently I had a Faith request actually. And I stole enemy demo ships with the Imam, Abbasid Imam conversion. Yeah, you could use it on ships. Like technically you could use it on a Bouchuan if they didn't kill you first. But I stole people's demo ships. 15% HP is not so good actually. Yeah, I guess that's debatable, right? Is 15% HP on men-at-arms and spearmen good in feudal? And if you get it, are you gonna go like feudal all in? Is that something you can do? So if you're going archer spear and you're getting 15% health, and you can make rams without the upgrade, how could that not be good? I think it is good. They all get 15% health. Okay, okay. Moving on. Converted Abbasid villagers will correctly have their build menu updated. Good. The Abbasid Golden Age production speed bonus now properly applies to all production buildings, not just the military. Camel Archer bow is no longer invisible after upgrading incendiary arrows. Good. Composite bow tooltip now correctly displays 33% attack speed increase instead of 25. Okay. There was also a bug with the order of composite and incendiary, how one of them stopped the other if you got them in the wrong order. I hope they fixed that too. Improved processing now applies to town centers. Oh, the 8% only worked on other drop-off buildings, did it? That's a big bug. So that's gonna improve things for them even more, because there was like a hidden bug there that I didn't even know about. Okay, Abbasid is gonna get cracked. Let's go to the next. Chinese. N4C is gonna continue Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Free mind. Stonewall Tower build time increased from 90 to 120. Okay, good. Ancient techniques cost. What is ancient techniques? Cost increased from 150, 350 to 200, 500. Ancient techniques is a unique technology in AoE4 available to the Chinese that can be researched in the university in Imperial Age. Once researched, villagers will receive a 5% increase in gathering rate for every dynasty the player has reached or reaches. Ah. Okay. By the time you get ancient techniques, the game is generally over. Yeah. Yeah, I think in 1v1 pro play, this is not going to get picked often, generally. But it does sound pretty good. If you've reached 3 dynasties, then you would get 15% gathering bonus on everything. If you've reached all dynasties with 7 landmarks, 20%. Barbican of the Sun sight range increased to match the outpost. Huh. Straight up just a buff. And I heard everyone complain the Chinese got nerfed. Guys, they got buffed. You see? No problem. Bonus, vision. I mean, these three are nerfed, but they got bonus sight range. Big buff, Pepe Love. Imperial Spy's ability from the Imperial Palace landmark now reveals villagers, traders, trade ships, fishing ships, and officials. Look, another buff. Bold statement without scrolling down, Peplav. Dynasty units and buildings are no longer gated when advancing to the next dynasty. There's another buff, that's number 3. Yuan Dynasty movement speed bonus no longer applies to siege. Ah, nerfed. Village requirement reduced from Song Dynasty to Tang Dynasty. There's a buff. But the cost is 125 and the health is 1500. Wow. It's still 4 houses for the price of 2.5. So it's still good. And now it comes a full dynasty earlier. And it has more health. Granary requirement from Yuan to Song. And the gathering rate though is from 15 to 10. But the health increased to 1500. That's pretty solid, man. Pagoda requirement reduced from Ming to Yen. Now you're getting 100 gold, 50, 50, 50 instead of 100, 100, 100, 100. Still, pretty solid, pretty solid. N4C is not over free mind. It's continuing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So this is all pretty fine. People said they're nerfed. I don't see it. Why is everyone saying on Reddit the Chinese got nerfed? I actually read Reddit, I got caught along in a wave without knowing the full info, and if I had stopped there like many others, then I would have spread the news the Chinese got completely messed up to other people. Does anyone ever do that? Read a popular sentiment and then pass it on to the next without actually going into the facts? You guys were Pepe laughing me too! Just for fun, right? You haven't finished yet. There's still 3 last lines. Okay, okay. Supervised production and research speed. Reduced from 200 to 150. I mean, it was OP, guys. Come on. Triple speed on Blacksmith University on upgrades like Wheelbarrow, and triple production speed on units. Like, if you're crutching on that to be valid, then it's broken, man. This is a fair nerf. And it was preordained already before. No one ever does that. I never read facts, I only base my opinion on popular sentiment. Okay, well, I hope I'm popular then. You can copy my sentiment. Official train time increase. Oh, that one. Gonads, meat fist. That one hit you in the gonads. Official cost changed from 150 to 100 food, 50 gold. Oof. But they're gonna generate so much more gold. Chinese are #1 win rate civilization with 80% plus at N4C, the first AoE4 LAN tournament. The pros that play them have been enjoying the new tax drop-off of 40 instead of 20. And while this is a nerf, this is broken, man. It's like Chrono Boost. You give people Chrono Boost, like in StarCraft 2 Protoss, they're gonna skip certain timing windows and get there so much faster with certain crucial upgrades and whatnot, and make too many units. This essentially, together with Loggia attack ship conversion and building mangonels in the field with units, it's all too fast, creating too many units too quickly after you reach the requirements of being able to make something. And the H-up timings were already faster because you had more taxes, 40 instead of 20. So this will slow it down actually. Though it's still the same amount of resources. You need more gold, but you get that gold back and you save the food. The biggest problem really is it costs you half a villager more. I think now you're gonna have 1 Imperial official in Dark Ages, not 2. The build time is a pretty big deal, yeah. Is it still worth getting the IO first though, is it? Just so you don't have to gather gold on land maps? I think you still get it. I still think you get IO immediately. Y'all should let me know when it goes live. I can try it on the test server, but for now it's not live yet. You can't get IO first without gold. You can. You start with 100 gold every game. Every game you start with 100 gold. So you drop to 50 and now you need to get 150 to H up instead of 100. That's why Holy Roman can make a prelate, right? 50 minutes till it goes live. Oh, okay, sick. Okay, let's go to the next. Men-at-Arms train time. Whoa, what? What? English Men-at-Arms train time reduced from 22 to 15? Damn, bro. Looks like Men-at-Arms Rush is back on the menu, boys. Vanguard Men-at-Arms armor increased from 2 to 3. Oh my god. Abbey of Kings Vanguard Rush is sick now. Bruh. Dude, Imperial English with 60 farms and gold enclosures for the farms can already spam 20 men-at-arms per cycle every time, over and over and over. And now they're going to be able to spam that even quicker, bro. Abbey of Kings healing rate increased from 4 health to 1.5 to 6 health per 1 second. Dude. Yeah, I think they're trying to tell us something. This is like the #1 strategy everyone wishes were valid. Tries it, realizes how much it sucks, and then tries it again 3 months later. That's so funny. That's so much health, man. You don't need to make this forward. Do you know that this works on villagers, guys? It's still out of combat only, okay? But if a knight comes in and hits your villager and it's like 10% life, and the Abbey of Kings is near, it's gonna just get healed up so fast. English defense will be so disgusting with this. It's so OP. 6 health every second. It's so OP. Like, already, have you guys seen how the Mista plays English? He goes for like 16 farms with council hall, doesn't use any longbow production, and then he goes to stables and mass horsemen, and he has the council hall just as a threat against spears as an option and stuff. Yeah. Can you imagine that with Abbey of Kings? He loses the threat of that, the threat against spears and whatnot, but now you've got 6 health per second. The heal is only out of combat, yes. But they just doubled its healing. They more than doubled its healing. This is 2.66 per second, right? Let me check. Yeah, 2.66 per second. It goes to 6. So they more than doubled its healing. Starting wood for English. What? Why? They want you to be able to make that barracks, that tier 1 rush really work, huh? So, let's just say... Okay, English is number 2 Civ here. Number 2 or number 3 Civ at N4C. Small sample size, I know. But they're good. They're a good counter Civ. They have certain strong matchups. They don't have a lot of weak matchups. And they're not completely figured out yet because the Mista is doing things with them that others aren't. So it proves that they're not completely figured out. Even if you're not going Men-at-Arms in Vanguard, ever, and if you're never going Abbey of Kings, you're still getting 7 seconds off your Men-at-Arms the entire game. And you're getting 50 wood. Like, English are gonna be really strong. Really, really strong. Yeah, Holy Roman Empire already has problems into English. Like, even though the devs may be thinking about Men-at-Arms, this is actually a double buff to standard longbow play into spears into Castle Age Men-at-Arms. Mill opening with farms in Dark Age with extra wood, Omega Law. Yep. Yeah, I cannot agree to this. I don't think this is needed or good. I feel like English are in a good spot. They're too one-dimensional. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? This is a game-long buff that has nothing to do with necessarily rushing them in Vanguard in Dark Ages. I can start with Mill in English now. Wow. Yep. Setup camp can no longer be triggered while in combat. I thought that was already not possible. Arbitrary Pavis ability bug fix now increases armor by 5 instead of setting it to 5. Yeah. Yeah. That was the thing. Fix the bug with the French tree where traders were displaced in the Dark Age under Chamber of Commerce. Military Siege Engineer UI now matches other civs. Royal Knight help text updated to reflect proper duration of bonus after a successful charge attack. Okay. French perfectly balanced, only bug fix. Yeah. Holy Roman Empire. Regnitz Cathedral rally capacity 3-2. I think this is good. By the way, when this goes live, we should try to sub-goal my Holy Roman Empire song again. I've got it ready. Burgrave Palace now produces infantry 400% faster instead of training units in batches of 5. Okay, 400% faster is times 4 multiplier, not times 5. Can I come in and get my mouse keyboard, kind Sir Grubby? Yes. Hey. Hey, mister. What do you think about the English changes? I love it. You love it? But you don't think it's too strong? You love it as an English fan.
Yes. I think it's going to be really, really strong for the English side.
Yeah.
I see a lot of Man-at-Arms openings.
Really?
And they're going to be really, really strong.
You think Man-at-Arms openings will be legit in Dark Ages?
Definitely. Because you only need to chop 50 wood.
Yeah.
And then you have the lumber gun, you have the mining gun.
Can you guys hear him, or shall I retranslate it? Mr. Hype for Age of Farms. We don't hear. Okay, so he's saying he thinks it's going to be really strong to do Men-at-Arms openers.
You took in players PC. Love the tournament, by the way. Thanks for the show, Grubel.
It's going to be really, really
cool. Yeah, and longbows is also just going to be better. And the opening that you showed with horsemen.
Yes, definitely. Like you can play Men-at-Arms into some longbow pressure and then transition to
exciting stuff. He is a fan of it as English. Not really thinking about like is it like balanced in the grand scope of things. He's an English main kind of, right? Like he loves it a lot, and he says men-at-arms openings are going to be really good. You don't need to chop as much wood to get the barracks up. Vanguard men-at-arms rush is going to be good. It's going to transition into longbows and maybe into horsemen. Yeah, maybe with Abbey of Kings, maybe with Council. So 400% faster, so same power as before but spread out. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's a 5 times multiplier total for training, and you no longer need to tie them together. That was my suggestion for it as well. That's great. But does it mean that it also produces upgrades faster? It says it produces infantry faster, but maybe it doesn't finish men-at-arms upgrade faster, per se. Are you going to update the game for the rest of the tournament or play on the previous patch? So this patch is not live, it's a beta, and the tournament will not be finishing on a beta patch, Donkey. They said in the dev stream it would be also reflecting the upgrade speed, but maybe they forgot to add it to the notes. Okay, got it, yeah. I'm actually on a tournament PC, so none of the players need that right now. They are able to practice in the other room. Yeah, maybe they changed their mind and it just counts as yeah, but faster means plus. Actually, faster means plus. Mepagliu. Was that Linak? Cool. Minework Palace research discount increased from 25 to 30%. Okay, and the speed increased. That's very strong, guys. Again, it feels a bit like Protoss Chrono Boost. No matter what, like this is a big buff to it. You need to be careful that it doesn't become part of like a cheesy rush that cannot be stopped, but probably it doesn't really work that way in Age of Empires 4. You can very quickly and cheaply get that men-at-arms ranged armor on Feudal, but right now Holy Roman men-at-arms rush on Feudal is not really valid. It is attempted sometimes, but it is not good. With this, maybe it can be. Did you take hostage all their gaming gear? No, I'm protecting it, man. English get better men-at-arms. Minework is a chrono boosted thing. The game is on. Yeah. Vortex men-at-arm rush viable. Kappa smiley face. Question mark. Yeah, he tried. He can try again. Yeah, he tried that against Beastie. Beastie was like, oh my god, men-at-arms. Are they just gonna kill me right here? What's the transition? And then there was none, and then Vortex died. But it was with quite a lot of scholar healing. Did you guys know that scholars from Delhi heal faster than prelates from Holy Roman Empire, even without upgrades? I didn't know that either. I learned a lot of things here. Palace of Swabia villager production speed and discount reduced from 75 to 66%. Oh, that's good. So instead of how much food was it actually? 12. So it's going to be 17? Yeah, 17 food. And instead of 5 seconds, it's going to be 7. 7 seconds, 17 food. That's a good nerf on something that's really powerful. It's 3 TCs now. Yeah. Inspired warriors effect duration from 30 to 60. Oh! Sick. Battle prelates. Yeah, it's still a printer. It's still good, but it's good that it's nerfed. Marching drills cost halved. Research time from 90 to 60. That's... I mean, I did think it was overcosted a bit. And now it's going to probably be undercosted a bit. But, yeah, 10%, it's alright. It's a big discount, and then with Minework even more. Now if... What? No, it shouldn't affect... Prelates are already too fast. They made prelates faster for relic collection, and they don't suffer from the slowdown from carrying relics. I don't think this needs to be applied to prelates. Literally nobody was asking about this. In fact, I think that the scholar movement speed swiftness upgrade is really OP. It's like 50% move speed, and they become like Black Panthers, able to just absolutely race it and book it. That needs to get nerfed, the scholar movement speed. And prelates do not need marching drills. Now warrior monk is the slowest rally carrying unit. Suck it, Rus. Added a prelate indicator for Holy Roman Empire players to be able to more easily locate and keep track of their prelates. Oh, nice. I mean, I have a hotkeys for that, but it's nice. Bug fixes. By placing relics in docks, it's no longer possible to surpass the maximum 25% attack speed bonus. Okay. Is it no longer going to buff enemy ships? Did you know it buffs enemy ships, guys? The Archon Chapel Blueprint Aura Range Indicator has been updated to use the correct golden color. The Great Palace of Flensburg Wonder can now properly make use of the influence. What? You can emergency repair wonders? No! No! This is one bug that's actually healthy for the game. I don't think you should be able to auto repair wonders. Come on. Relic! Come on. No. This is not good. Thumbs down. Docs can now properly make use of the influence and the emergency repair ability. That's good. See? There's... like, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Keeps no longer grant a springald when a unit is garrisoned, and the springald emplacement is not researched. Hey, Holy Roman had this? We can still make use of it before the patch drops. I like how these always give a little unveiling of the veil of what you can still abuse before the patch goes live. Let's enjoy it. Yes, you can have 2 springles. Nice. Tournament is done. KW. Well, which Holy Roman Empire player is actually making keeps? They either win or lose based on 3 relics, and then it's GG. Relics placed inside of docks no longer increase. Ah, good. Of all players' ships, Mongols. What? Oh, they forgot to format this. I'm like, what? All players' ship Mongols. Huh? Okay. Relics placed inside of docks no longer increase attack speed of all players' ships. Next. Mongols. Textiles improved has been added to the TC, available in Castle Age. Villagers will be 100 health. Sick. Mongol bug fixes. Improved biology now only provides 10 health instead of 15 for a total of 30 instead of 35. Okay. 100 health villagers. Jesus. Fixed a bug where Mongols improved tithe barns did not list the correct resource income. Fixed a bug where Mongol tithe barns research time was 80 seconds instead of the intended 60. And now it gives 30 of all instead of 20. Kargated Palace now produces Manganite in 90 seconds instead of 77 seconds. Oh, it's nerfed. Yeah, it was way too good. Oh, you know how all of you were getting rushed by Kargated Palace cavalry spam? No? Because nobody ever made this? Well, it's gonna be slower and worse now. Because you can get loads of stone from the other landmark, which can be spent on anything instead of unupgraded feudal Mangudai. And feudal knights that don't even exist, feudal lancers. The Mongol landmark TC can now be packed while at maximum population. Good. Khan defense arrow tooltip updated to show correct bonus of +2. Stone commerce help text updated to specify trade bonus. Kekganat Palace. Yeah, exactly. Rus. Time to nerf Rus. No, Rus is a little underpicked and underpowered right now, for the most part. Except on water. Warrior Monk weapon range increased from 1.15 to 3. Whoa! Oh yeah, they're always in front and then they're gonna die. And then they don't give enough aura to the backline. So now they're gonna have like an immediately large spear. Oh, hi Marine Lord in chat. Big fan of this guy. I'm a big fan of you, Marine Lord. And so is Logan. Warrior Monk charge weapon range increased to 3 as well, so now he's going to stay at greater range. This is very similar to what Blizzard did with High Templar in StarCraft, where because of player skill, A move High Templar got them killed and less effective, and now A move Warrior Monk also get them killed and less effective. Except here it really makes a bit more sense since they are a fighting unit. So yeah, you are going to A move with melee generally quite a bit. I think it's an okay change. Horse Archer Precision Technology Weapon Range bonus reduced from 2 to 1. Okay, Imperial nerf for Horse Archer. They were already pretty weak. A little bit useful in Imperial perhaps, though you would rather go Streltsy for the most part. The range was the best thing about Horse Archer compared to Streltsy. And now they don't really have that anymore. Horse Archer Precision Technology Research Time reduced from 90 to 60. Streltsy Double Time no longer quickens their static deployment ability. Okay, so they just get 70% move speed. But they don't more quickly get the damage. So, Imperial nerfs and a buff to Warrior Monk. Rus got worse. Population cost increased from 1 to 2. Cost increased 75 to 150. Okay, so it's like a 2-in-1. Train time not doubled, 25 to 38. Health doubled. Deep water fish gather rate nearly doubled. And shoreline fish gather rate, wait, I need to calculate that one. This is like what, 89% increase? Or 90%, this is 90%. So they gather almost twice as fast. They cost twice as much. They take twice as much pop. They train faster and they have double the health. So essentially, it's a buff if you can afford it and keep making them. Right? But it's a nerf to transform abilities. Overall, it's a buff, but not if you convert to attack ship. I'm not 100% familiar with the cost of conversion. Doesn't conversion generally take the bonus cost of a unit and have that be the cost of the conversion, but there is a minimum cost? You have fewer fishing ships to transform, yeah. Okay, so one of the main problems with the Rus water meta right now is that it's not that you have 6 fishing ships and reach feudal and you transform all 6. It's that you have 6 fishing ships, you reach feudal faster than anyone else almost, and then you transform 1 or 2 ships and you immediately took control of the water. And if you need to, you can transform extra, but you don't actually have the money to transform all 6. Even if you had 3 ships now, 3 fishing ships, you would still be able to transform the exact amount required in order to cut off the enemy gathering. It does mean that your first fishing ship comes out slower and is hidden behind a 150 wood investment instead of 75, which will slow down the scaling of your food income in general. And you're losing 50% of your eco then instead of 60%. Yeah. It is a nerf. I doubt you'll be able to afford constant production of 150 wood though, says Recon. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to probably, right? So it's a nerf to both their gathering without any transformation. It's a nerf to their transformation. So in general, it's a nerf. It's a buff if you have loads of wood somewhere in the mid to late game and you want to spam fishing ships. Then it's a buff. But overall, in almost all practical situations, it's a nerf. I don't understand why Relic is nerfing Rus in every patch. Can you explain, Grubby? Well, Lodja fishing ships have created a situation where Rus is the only playable civilization on Boulder Bay. Probably the only playable civ on maps like Confluence. Marine Lord believes Rus is the best and only civ you should be wanting to play on Mongolian Heights, which probably extends to Danube River to some degree, or maybe Holy Roman Empire is a little bit better there because the water doesn't split the entire map. So Rus because of the conversion, is one of the most winning, even if you don't take his word for it. They're one of the most winning on hybrid water maps and water maps that are now no longer part of the ladder map pool, Warring Islands and Archipelago. So to see a nerf come out is suitable. What is confused, and Streltsy, by the way, are quite strong, but if I had been allowed to make changes to Rus, I would have done things a little differently, I think. Rus fishing eco was broken. It was deserved, yeah. But the problem is, Rus's win rate in general is not crazy. It's like there are a number of problematic things, and when you nerf the things that feel most broken by logic, then maybe you should also buff something else. So that's kind of how I'm looking at right now, is the issue. Same with Abbasid. It's great that they buff other wings in feudal, like military and trade and so on, and culture. But maybe it should also be nerfing something else that's just kind of regular meta, because otherwise things just get too good. They did buff warrior monks. And maybe some global changes helps them? Yeah. I guess Rus was not able to make Stonewall towers, and therefore nerfs to Stonewall towers directly benefit them. They were not able to do field construction, so that directly benefits them. Hunting bow benefits them the most. This is a nerf to Rus. This is probably a buff to Rus, because they are more likely to make use of pro scouts. This is a nerf to them, because Loggia attack ships can no longer fire while moving. Right? They don't make use of any of this, so this is a nerf to Rus. This is a buff to Loggia attack ships in general. This is a nerf to Rus. This is basically a direct buff to Rus, indirect buff to Rus, right? Then this is probably more likely to be a buff to Rus when you consider how everything goes. This is kind of agnostic when it comes to Rus. This is a buff to Rus, right? Agnostic. This is kind of a nerf, since they have very strong siege in general. Then don't really want to go into this too much. Every other Civ buff and nerf that indirectly affects Rus. So overall, it's mostly they get buffed by this directly, the warrior monk. Nerf and nerf. Now I do think Streltsy are maybe a little bit too good, but the major thing missing with Rus is springled range still being allowed to be 13.5. They should get rid of that. Why is N4C not live today? There was a big German event making use of the studio here. A break day for the players to practice more, and then they'll be able to play tomorrow. Sorry, can I ask, how is that a big nerf for fishing? Fishing ships are seemingly just trained faster, and then 5% nerf in gather rate. Yeah, that's true. But the first fishing ship you make is delayed until you have 150 wood in total, instead of until you have 75 wood in total. Normally, you don't have 150 the moment you finish a dock in the early game. You have 75. You would then start gathering food immediately, and now you have to wait.
Nice casts Grubby this weekend. And 10 months on a nice patch stream. Our life is good.
Thanks very much, Madness. Yeah, I think Rus may be a little weaker, for sure. They're still really good in Imperial, despite this, I would say. They can still go Streltsy, those are still good. With Springles and Mangonels that all have special bonuses. This changes nothing for them on land, right? And this is a buff, so I don't think we should doom and gloom on Rus. Let's say if Rus right now was a 48% win rate Civ, this would drop them maybe to 47.5. This is no reason to go make like 5 Reddit posts and say Rus got dumpstered. Same thing with Chinese. Like, people are like, why do the devs absolutely hate Chinese? No, bro. We can make villages in Dark Ages, granaries in Feudal, and pagoda in Castle. I think Chinese generally are buffed considering 2 weeks ago. Like, compared to 2 weeks ago. Don't forget, you guys have probably barely made use of 40 gold drop-offs yet for taxes. That was a huge buff, and Chinese are super legit right now. Yes, I'm playing soon after the patch notes, Vamper. So yeah, I think Rus drops like 0.5% or 1% or something, maybe. Just Abbasid goes up quite a bit, and Holy Roman Empire goes up. Rams can no longer take. Oh, that was a bug. You know what I think? Maybe they, maybe they coded ships as buildings. Maybe when they made ships, they just added water to the game, and instead of like making a new dimension, a new unit type, a new unit gender, whatever, they just put a moving building on water. Like sometimes it can be a bit spaghetti behind the scenes, because rams are not supposed to be able to attack ships. It never is listed anywhere. This is so funny. Anyway, no longer able to target buildings apparently. Packed Mongol buildings are military. Yeah. They moved like buildings. Yeah. Repair ability now shows the correct requirements when attempting to use it on an enemy player. Okay. Delhi Sultanate Tech now lists own blades under Imperial instead of Castle. Yeah, but you can still get it in Castle, right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy that they didn't nerf Delhi. Delhi is by far #1 Civ in Pro Play and #1 on ladder as well. Maybe this patch was a while in the making. What do you guys think? It's crazy that they didn't nerf him. I've heard some good suggestions here from the players. Some people believe that Sanctity should unlock feudal sacred site capture but not give bonus gold, aka no more 150 gold per minute but just 100. You can still feudal sacred sites, but not 150 gold, just 100. And then I think they should nerf herbal medicine, stonewall towers, stonewalls in feudal, and they should nerf scholar swiftness. And with all those together, I think Delhi is not so OP anymore. If you just do all the things that I just said, I think Delhi is in a better spot. Maybe still strong, but not as strong as now. Delhi Sultanate Tech Tree now lists slow. See you later, Logan Gas. Delhi Sultanate Tech Tree now lists Hone Blades. Oh yeah. The English setup camp ability now has the correct requirement text. Field construction of traction trebuchets now have the correct tooltip. The compound of the defender effect is no longer active while the landmark is destroyed. Oh, interesting. They didn't bug fix yet that Delhi can make feudal stone walls that infantry can't build, but if you finish a wooden wall next to a stone wall, they continue auto building the stone wall anyway. Skipped over Rus bug fixes. Oh, what? Oh, Golden Gate trade buttons have been relocated to match markets. Good. And bad. Sometimes I misclicked my hotkey and I was saved from a bad trade because it was in a different spot. So I can't wait for that hotkey patch coming out. Golden Gate no longer shares double-click selection with markets. Oh, good. Oh, that's what happened to me. Yeah. I had that happen. Oh, that's nice. Lodja ships now have the correct upgrades applied after conversion. That's good, because they had a too much health problem. Could you please suggest devs to fix this? If an economic building has been damaged, villages will prioritize repair instead of dropping resources. Thank you. Yeah. I hope they're listening to this, and then it should be on their agenda, the Porky. They actually have forums with bug reports. Maybe you can report it there. Consider this a signal boost. I don't have. Actually, I do have Discord open. I'll just drop it to the private forums with them. Fix the bug with Rus Tech Tree where Abbey of Trinity didn't display all of its unique tags, and destroyed High Trade House no longer produces deer until repaired. Interesting. So a nerf essentially. A 1v1 micro map size resource balancing has also received a pass with the goal of improving the distribution of resources between players. On open maps like Lipany and Dry Arabia, this has meant objects like relics, gold deposits and stone deposits are now spawning in a tighter band for each player to cut down on cases where one resource node would spawn considerably further away for one player than for the other. We're always tweaking and looking to improve this, so keep sending us screenshots and map seeds when you feel things are generated unfairly. Imagine New Rus in the Wolves custom map getting owned even by Gaia now. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, relic positioning being fairer is good. Resources too. On divided maps like Mountain Pass and Mongolian Heights, we have done additional custom tuning for several maps to help ensure that the dividing geography does not separate one player from their allotment of resource deposits. We were seeing, for instance, both players' large gold deposits spawning on the same side of the mountain range, aka the enemy, on Mountain Pass. This was due to how we place resources with a central band of map area that is calculated based on pathfinding distance from each player's TC to each point on the map. In cases like Mountain Pass, if one player spawns closer to the opening, the midpoint between players would have been on the other side of the mountain range, and our contested resources would be placed there. This set of tuning has been about finding new constraints for this banding on maps with dividing geography. Danube River, Boulder Bay, Confluence, Mountain Pass, Mongolian Heights and Nagari all received custom tuning in this regard. Relics will now spawn in a more balanced configuration. 1 accessible relic per player, 3 centrally contestable. This updated balance logic has been applied globally to all map sizes, tuned specifically for several maps on the 1v1 micro size. Additional tuning for divided maps at larger sizes will be coming in a later update. Relics have been tuned to spawn further away from each other. Divided maps have had custom tuning and will spawn 1 accessible relic and 2 contested relics per side of the map. Divided maps have had custom tuning, 1 accessible, 2 contested per side, for a total of 6. Oh, I think we saw this in the ranked season beta. This was done to ensure that maps in which terrain gives natural ownership to one player doesn't have a built-in imbalance due to the nature of spawning an odd number of contestable objects. This is going to be true for Confluence, Mountain Pass, Mongolian Heights, and Nagari. What about French Pass? I guess it's more neutral in the middle. Yeah, 5 relics can never be fair on some maps, I agree with that. This is well explained and I think all of this is good so far. Sacred sites have had their spawn parameters narrowed to help them spawn more evenly across the center of the map on maps where the locations are not being specifically placed by the map script, e.g. on the hill, King of the Hill. What about hill and dale? Sometimes you've got like 2 here and then 1 here. Extra relics makes Holy Roman Empire even better. Yeah, that's true. Like, Mongolian Heights relics is gonna get a lot better. Like, Holy Roman Empire Mongolian Heights is gonna get a lot better. Rus is less dominant, and you are going to be able to have more relics. Why reduce Holy Roman capacity for relics but not Rus? Because it doesn't matter for Rus. They get 100 gold per relic. Holy Roman gets 300 gold per relic inside the main building, so now they only can get 600 from 2 relics instead of 900 from 3 relics. 3 relics for Holy Roman is now worth 700 instead of 900. Won't the buff to Deer Boar serve as a bit of a nerf to Abbasid Delhi? Not to Deer, but to Boria. It's an indirect nerf to Delhi Abbasid, but not enough. Almost nobody is playing Boar. Maybe we should do it more. But not many people are doing it. Yeah, I'm not home I'm in Berlin. Mountain ranges have been shortened slightly to provide a more consistent central lake and mountain configuration on Nagari. Deepwater fish have been removed from the side ponds and concentrated in the central lake. This was both to remove instances of unbalanced amount of safe fish and ensure that the most valuable fish are located in the contested part. Relic count has been increased to spawn a base 4 relics plus 1 per player to better ensure fairness of distribution on maps where geography can divide the map into discrete sections. Okay, nice for 3-on-3. Resource spawning for 1v1 micro size matches has had custom tuning done on various resource deposits. Yeah, I think we already read this in others. Black Forest. The forestiness of Black Forest has been reined in to not spawn unchoppable trees in the middle of your town center courtyard. Yeah, the very first game I played on the new Black Forest, there was a tree inside my TC that I could not click or gather from. But I've had other trees inside my TC that I could actually gather from that had 0 walking time. So that was pretty cool. Trade posts on micro and small map sizes has been adjusted to spawn closer to the exact center of the map to help ensure more equal access. Spawn reliability of the second deer herd per player has been improved. Sacred sites have been re-added back to Black Forest. Good. I never understood the removal of it. Like, that's the one map that needed them more than every single other map because of the turtling. Thanks to everyone who gave their thoughts. With the way that H4 plays out, sacred sites provide a valuable way for players to counter a locked-in defensive strategy. Exactly. Though it is a buff to Delhi. While we appreciate the epic slugfest that remind us of a classic AoE2 Black Forest gameplay, we feel like the sacred sites play well in the Age of Empires 4 version of the map. Agree. Boulder Bay. We have updated the forest distribution to include more smaller forests as opposed to fewer larger ones. Yeah, exactly. That was a big deal. You had a lot of large forests completely walling in a player or almost walling in a player. That either gave an offensive advantage in offensive walling or a defensive advantage. We've updated the fish distribution in the bay to be more even. Avarion says, less stress for Holy Roman Empire relics to get more than the half. It's a psychological buff IMO for Holy Roman because there's less pressure if you just have two. Actually true. That's actually true. Before, you're like, okay, I got two. I'm in a great spot. But I need three. And I will die for it if I need to. Said person who died for it. Yeah, that's true. Delhi and Abbasid can get good income with berries, so deer are more important to other civs now. Yeah, okay, that's true too, Kamayuk. I was thinking the boar is haram, but the deer is available to everyone. But you're right that Delhi and Abbasid don't need deer as much. But don't forget that Delhi can get that hunting techniques very cheaply and quickly. So even though berries matter, sometimes deer are in a better spot. They can make use of that for free without getting the upgrade. Loved your casting. Love from South Africa. Yo, thank you so much, Beaners95. It's been great. Thanks for the prime. Thanks everyone for the sub. I don't have alerts on because I'm not at home and well, I didn't want to spend too long setting the stream up. I'm only streaming here for one day, so. We've updated the fish distribution in the bay to be more even. We're also working on providing a more robust solution for the balance of deep water fish in the near future. We've adjusted gold distribution, fixed the spawn issue where you could spawn on the wrong side of the bay on larger team games. I've seen that in a screenshot. 4v4 and they spawn 3v5. Good luck, bro. Danube River large gold deposits have been rebalanced to reliably spawn evenly between teams. We've changed the central crossing to be a stone bridge on Danube River. We're able to add bridges to maps and the central stone bridge was added to Danube to help break up naval dominance. That's a great change, boys. Players who seek control of the water will now need to build ships on both their half of the river as well as their opponent's half. I think that's a great change. Fixed an issue where in larger games, teammates could spawn on the wrong side of the river. Yeah. Mountain Pass. Sacred sites have been given a buffer of flat terrain to ensure they spawn correctly. Yeah. Updated gold spawns to be more fairly distributed for players in one-on-one. A fort will spawn on each arm of the river near the edge of the map. I don't like Confluence. I don't care what they're doing to it. I never want to play it. Removed errant deep water fish that would spawn on micro-sized matches. What is errant deep water fish? I think this map should never have deep water fish. Only shore. We adjusted trade post spawns to ensure they don't spawn on isolated islands created by lakes. Oh yeah. Do I like this patch in general? Huh. Deep water fish aren't supposed to be there basically. Okay. Well, it's good. Now they're gone. Do I like the patch? I think the patch is... It's got good and bad. And there are things missing from it. Overall, I would say it's a positive, and change is always good because it shakes things up. So overall, I like it a lot, yeah. But then there's like 3 to 5 huge question marks, like, bro, what are you doing? But then again, this is a pub. It is a test version, a test map, a test patch. So we should give our feedback, and I'm doing that via this video. We've fixed rare instances of sacred sites not spawning. This was occasionally caused by random mountains spawning. I think I saw a 2 sacred site Altai in the tournament, no? I was casting it. It has 3 normally, no? There was a double sacred site Altai in the tournament. I didn't even call it out as a professional commentator. Because I thought, what if I'm wrong? Like, what if this is a different map? And then my co-caster is going to be like, Omega lol. We fixed rare cases of players spawning too close to the side, mountain ranges, and stomping out things like sacred site and trade posts. Lol. Number of relics is now 4 + 1, so 6. Yeah. We've tuned down wolf spawns from 2 per sacred site to 1 per. Okay. This is a buff to Holy Roman, by the way, guys. Because those wolves attack prelates in general, not just when they're going for the site, but when they're going for the relics too. We've tuned starting forest not to be able to close off a full ramp to the player's plateau. Players will now get 1 regular forest and 1 smaller on their plateau. Overall, how the plateaus spawn to provide a more consistent experience. Plateau sizes will now be the same for both, and team plateau sizes can no longer sometimes be very disproportional. Okay. We've done an overhaul to the King of the Hill map to ensure that generations are more even and consistent. We saw previously that some players could have very little... We intentionally designed this map to shaft players to not have much wood at all ever. I'm sorry this was not an experience you enjoyed, we're now changing it. Could have very little wood. They never did! Nah, but sometimes you did have the backline wood. Like 1 out of 4 times you have extra wood in the corner, but it was really far away. I wouldn't call it near, but it was still better than not having any wood there and being forced to go into a corner that's not your own corner. We also saw many instances. Yeah, I feel like I read this before in the upper patch. Added maps! MegaRandom! MegaRandom has the ability to spawn in an enormous number. Yo, we're playing this tonight! We're gonna play this tonight immediately once it's available. Let's have viewers join. It should be fun. We created a huge number of random parameters that MegaRandom can choose. I've never played this. I only read about this when I saw it for being mentioned first. And apparently it's a tradition in AoE2 and it is crazy. There's another wood node on the cost change. Yeah, but I read this before. Did I like read this off stream? I thought I read this at the start of the patch notes. Didn't want to double up too much. I'm eager to advance to the next. Send us your best MegaRandom generations. We'll continue to update MegaRandom, keep it fresh. That's so much fun. This is gonna be so good for the casual player base as well. And sometimes I'm even casual. MegaRandom can choose from when generating, such as whether to spawn lakes and rivers, which types of impasse to use to generate terrain if any, whether to spawn extra amounts of some resources, and whether to incorporate special terrain patterns and much more. Crafted map, Valley Battle. As an example for what a crafted map may look like when created using the AoE4 content editor, beta, we've added a map called Valley Battle to the Crafted Maps tab. The map was created to be a balanced, mostly symmetrical map that has a bit of everything. Open fields for large battles, a river with numerous crossings, small lakes to take advantage of fishing. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. That's it. That's the patch. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's talk more about it. Let's talk about N4C. And let's try to get the beta patch from Steam downloaded soon. Hey guys, you've made it to the end of the patch notes. If it was a little bit too long for you and you clicked this on the chapter, here is a too long didn't listen. A number of cool new mods enters the game to be played with that you can apply to custom maps. Should provide a lot of fun. It's gonna be slower to build siege on the field, and it's gonna be better to gather from deer and boar in general. For naval, there's a bunch of rebalancing that generally is quite good. There's going to be some nerfs to some things like boiling oil and stone wall towers and keeps, which generally I think will be very well received. Abbasid Dynasty is actually a good spot, but they're getting buffed on their camels and various wings. I suspect this to be quite strong and for Abbasid to rise to top 1 or top 2 together with Delhi. I think Abbasid and Delhi will be the best civilizations once this patch goes live, not Mongols, Abbasid and Delhi. Chinese, there's a lot of doom and gloom, but I think this is very overblown. Don't really get caught along in that. Chinese, I think, are going to be a strong civilization, and they're going to get all their dynastic things earlier. While there are some nerfs, there were buffs in the previous patch that are still being worked through, and I think Chinese will be quite good. Then English are going to get some pretty big buffs both to Dark Age rushes and in general. They're going to be strong, maybe top 4. French, not a lot of changes. Holy Roman is getting some buffs that should also put them in top 4, I would say, which I guess by process of elimination probably puts Mongols on rank 5 or so, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Rus is getting some nerfs that will probably put them solidly in top 9. And then there were a bunch of bug fixes. And, oh, there are more changes as well. So, damn, good luck, Jules, editing this. But yeah, that was the TLDR.